So welcome, we're here looking at the Sanskrit alphabet called the Ring of Sounds. And we'll be going through discovering sounds in their most basic form, just enjoying sound like you might be going on a journey inward. And the only sense organs you had were related to making sound, feeling sound, and hearing sound. With that sense of wonder, we're going to embark on a journey together. This language, Sanskritam, gives me an opportunity to feel resonance in different parts of my body, in my palate, and in my brain. As Westerners, oftentimes we hear the sound Om, which then became other sacred sounds like Amen, Elohim, Shalom. And without getting into some cultural discussion about which came first, the point is that Sanskritam provides inner experience that is organized. Its name actually means perfectly made. I've drawn a picture here of how to gather energy from the diaphragm in your heart and have it come up through the throat to the back of the mouth to the hard palate, alighting your own crown. I encourage you to do this a couple times. We'll do it a couple more times. As difficult as it is when recording, I'm doing my best to just go into an inner experience without thinking or being of concern how it sounds to anyone else. I'm just going for clarity of my own vibration. So I'll clip it before I run out of breath. Then take a thin, slow inhale in between. And with that last one, I finally started to feel my heartbeat. This practice of just chanting Om is one of the most basic techniques or tools of yoga, called Omkara, or Udgita, the upward song. This chanting of Om allows me to fall in love with my own vibration again. On the next page, we look at discovering the palate. So coming up your throat, and then you can feel with your lips this blue area. Use the tip of your tongue. You can track or trace this hard palate area of the roof of your mouth and feel a bump hanging down around where this orange is. We don't usually put the tip of the tongue further back than that, though you can. It's easier to access with the back of your tongue, or to just feel sound come in this region. In this red region, we have a tone, a human tone. It's fairly unformed. Ah, ah, ah. I can shape my mouth to bring tone energy to this orange region where the hard palate bump is felt. E, E, E. Or I can direct tone energy to my lips. Ooh, ooh. So for right now, put away any sense of English sounds and instead just feel vibration at places in your palate. You can respond after me. Ah, E, ooh. This is the essence of language. Feeling sounds at positions. Feeling my own palate. Here I've drawn pictures of how you actually make those sounds. You just open your mouth and let tone energy come out, you get the sound ah. I make a smile and use the middle of my tongue. I'm shaping it with my tongue. I get E. And if I purse my lips, the tone becomes ooh. So in essence, it's like playing a flute, but I am the flute, and I'm shaping my mouth to make different notes or tones. The Sanskrit word for vowel means that. Svara means note or tone. Here we look at each of the 5 Sanskrit mouth positions. Ah in red, E in orange, and then we did this at the lips, ooh, the blue. But in between we have positions that use the tip of the tongue. So the retroflex, position 3, I use the tip of the tongue toward the roof of my mouth and get the sound er. Whereas at position 4, if I go towards my teeth, I get the sound oh. And so these 5 mouth positions are named here for you. I also have feelings in my brain. So I've placed some positions here, but I encourage you to just close your eyes and feel, where do you feel the resonance in your brain, in your sinuses, in your other tissues? You can respond to me. Ah, E, O, U. So I've put generic spots here. This is not a science. This isn't listed anywhere in the Vedas as to where you'll feel in the brain, not to my knowledge anyway. This is just personal experience. For you yourself to discover. The next thing I learn about language is that there are tones which are about energy. It's about energy traveling through me. Whereas marks, which we call consonants, are physical. They're like matter. We have the theoretical physics of language here, energy and matter. At the lips, I have that sound, ooh. The mark that is just a click at that position is pa, 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 or pa, 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 ooh, pa. You can try that. pa, pa. So the first one doesn't require touching. The second one does. Then I've got the basic tones and the same kind of mark, which is like a percussion, at these 5 positions. Ah, ka. Try it. Ah, ka. I, cha. Pa. O, ta. Pa. So again, I've just made tones and marks at the same position. The next thing is that I learn about different kinds of tones. There are tones that are a short single position. It's like turning a flashlight on and off. Up, up, up. There are single position tones that are like turning the flashlight on to high beam. There are tones that travel, or long mixed dual position that have a direct travel. So between the 2 tones, e, e, I get this traveling tone that lights this whole part of my palate up. A. Similarly, there are traveling tones that also expand. Between and e, I also can have the sound I. The 5 short simple tones that are 1 measure or 1 beat that hit the 5 positions of the mouth are, you can respond to me, e, o, u. From the back of the mouth to the front. E, o, u. Then all 5, I'll do them, then you do them. E, o, u. Do it once, closing your eyes, see if you can feel these places. E, o, u. There are also long tones sustained at these positions, which again is like the high beam. I'll do them in call and response with you. E, o, u. And then if I were to do all 5, I'll do all 5, then you respond to me. Then I encourage you to do it closing your eyes, see if you can feel this energy move across your palate. There's a clarification that once the position 3 and 4 tones come into the language, there'll be a touch release that's usually used. So at position 3 in the language, like in the name Krishna or the word vritti, this sound will be re. So it's a slight touch release. You can do it responding to me. Re. Then twice would be re. Re, re. Re, re. And then these sounds actually aren't used in the language, they're more of placeholders, but they would be le, 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 le. So I'm touching my teeth and jumping back. Le, le, le. The next kind of tone is something that travels. And it travels thereby combining 2 tones, 2 simple tones. These will necessarily be 2 measures because it's 1 tone plus another. So here I have the tone up, moving to the tone E, and I have the sound A. So all three sounds would go A, E, A, E. You try it. And I can feel in my mouth that A starts at and ends at E if I do all three of them. A, E. This means anytime, even in English, I can take the time to have A be a two-beat and strong syllable. Similarly, from to U, I have a long tone that combines them. Oh. You can respond to me. I'll make all three sounds. Oh. And in this way, that's where we get that sound om, because it's from the beginning up to the end, oo. Then I close and resonate. And so here we have another direct travel two measure sound, oh. And then they're the ones that expand and travel from to E. I get the sound I. And you can respond to me. I'll make all three of them. I, E. And it's possible to do with your eyes closed. You can feel that the sound I starts at and ends at E. If you respond to me, you will feel that. I, E. And similarly here at the bottom, I have the sound ow, which goes from to oo. Ow, oo. Ow, oo. I frequently mention that language is an operating system, and each of us was in some part coded in English, which is not an intelligent felt sense operating system. We have words like learn, which kids want to spell O-R-N, but instead they have to figure out why that E and the A, L-E-A-R-N, got put in there. You'll never encounter that in Sanskritam. Written language is just an attempt to picture what you do in your mouth. So the feeling that happens in the mouth is primary. And it's no accident in English that we've chosen such an expanded, powerful sound for the first person singular pronoun. I. We put a lot of emphasis on I in English. Most people who've come from places that have been colonialized would be able to easily understand the emphasis that English has put on I instead of on we. So here we also have in English a sound for releasing a lot of energy through pain. Ow. Moving on, we have the roots of tone energy. So tone energy itself is feeling a vibration. All I'm going to do is allow any tone, in this case I'll take ah, have it come up, and then I'm just going to close and resonate. So the closing of my teeth is going to produce a resonance which I'll feel in all of this purple area. I'll feel it in my nose, I'll feel it in my teeth, I'll feel it in my whole hard palate. So I'll do it, and then you try. Again, respond to me and see if you feel this resonance through the whole sinus cavity, the nose, the hard palate, the teeth. You'll notice that this is not possible if you pinch your nose closed. We can try that too. So the nose is the gateway to the prana vahasrota, the channel of vital energy. So the nose is essential, and the nose is involved even in the making of sounds. It gives me the energy to make them. The final tone is emphasizing the sending out of breath, which I have pictured here as just breath droplets leaving. Again, we're going to use the tone ah. 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 So this blue is the breath following. Ah. Which then looks like these droplets leaving when you see your breath on a cold day. You see the breath mist. And similarly, there's that echo. Ah. Ah. Interestingly, the echo will carry the last position of the tone in your mouth. So if instead of ah, we were, let's say, at the lips, this would sound like ooh, ooh. Or many of you commonly hear shanti, and that is that echo, ihi, of the sending out of breath. And that is the literal name of this. Visarga literally means a sending out of breath. So this will complete our introduction to the first Sanskrit course, where we have covered tones in the order in the ring of sounds. And I have depicted them here for you to experience pictures or feelings in your mouth without any English letters and without even the Devanagari script, just to have feeling in your mouth. So you can respond to me, I, u. Notice the emphasis on meter, short then long. U. The less frequently used touch release tones, re, ri, l. I'll do all four, you can respond to me. Re, ri, l. And then the traveling and mixing of tones. I'll do them, you can respond. A, I, O, ow. Notice that each of these will be two measures or two beats. A, I, O, ow. And then the root of tone energy itself, the use of resonance and breath. Ah. Thank you for chanting along. Enjoy the practice. The chanting of the alphabet is in and of itself a very healing mantra. It is the seed sounds, or the bija mantra, the sounds of the chakras, the sounds of the inner subtle body. And this feeling and enjoying sounds at positions in your own mouth and enjoying your own vibration, coming to peace and joy with yourself, that lovingness with focused attention is the essence of the techniques of yoga.